Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. Today I want to do another video here about the upcoming parking lot sale that starts October 6th, that goes through the 12th, and then basically 6th through the 9th is for ITC members, 10th through the 12th is going to be for everybody. So for some of these hot items, you definitely want to try to get in there on Monday or maybe Tuesday, or it's going to be sold out. I know the last parking lot sale, a few of their items were gone literally in seconds. I happened to be the first one through the door, and within 15-30 seconds, all of the kind of the hottest items were already gone and not available to anybody else. So let's kind of go over this. So I've done a couple of videos on this, one when the flyer first came out. So if you want to look at every item on here, I did that on that particular video. I also did a preview of the parking lot sale once it launched online, so that actually specifies exactly what's going to be included, because there were some questions on what's included within what's considered carts and cabinets, and then also what's considered, for example, pliers, and things like that. So let's kind of go over things that I found out from the preview, and I want to go over things that I currently own that I can kind of give you, hey, yeah, I'd probably recommend buying this, or maybe you want to skip it or look at something else. So the first deal I want to really look at is going to be this 35% off of pliers and screwdrivers, since I feel that's what most of you are probably going to be going in there for. And I have a feeling that the majority of you, if you're going in there, you're probably going to want to look at these Icon pliers. So if you look here, I have pretty much the full set of Icon pliers that they currently have, at least as of this video that I'm aware of. But we got the flush cuts and diagonal cutters. I know there were some questions on whether these are included in pliers, and based off of their preview, they are. And then we have needle nose, the kind of the hose needle nose, the slip joints, the twin grip style, the channel lock style, the LN snap-on style, the Raptor style from Knipex, the pliers wrench, similar to Knipex, the high leverage diagonal cutters, long needle nose in straight and bent, and then we have the pistol grip needle nose kind of hiding back here with this one and this one, where the one on the bottom kind of has that twin grip style as well. So I think these are going to be one of the best deals to get. They range probably anywhere from about 20 bucks to maybe about 40 on the high end with the pliers wrench, but most of them are going to be in I think the 20 to less than $30 range. So with 35% off, with some of the basic ones being as low as $13, I think that's an excellent deal. It's a very high quality product. I have the snap-on version of a lot of these, and then the Knipex version of the other ones, and I'm not saying it's exactly the same quality, but hey, if you're getting 80% or so of the quality at a fraction of the price, I still think that's a win for us kind of consumers, especially if you're not a professional. And as far as me liking these pliers so much, the last sale they had, I was able to kind of stock up on a few of the more popular ones, the needle nose, the LN style, some slip joints, and the pliers wrench, just so I can have for some like go bags and things like that in the future. So as far as pliers, I think that's kind of the best deal that you're going to get. But let me kind of go over here real quick and show you some other things. So in here, if you notice, there's some empty spots in the next to the Icon, and that's where all these Doyle used to live. So right now I'm working on kind of building out this backpack, and for my build out, my Husky build out that I'm using for my gutter business. So this has a few of some tools in here that I may need. So still kind of working on this, but all of these are going to be 35% off. They did just have a sale where they were 30% off. I did go ahead and pull the trigger just so that way I don't have to worry about them during the sale, and it honestly only cost me about $3-4 more than if I would have waited for the sale. But I thought it was worth it. So that's kind of the pliers. So you got Doyle, you have the Icon obviously, and then give me 1 second. Let's switch over to screwdrivers. So next up, this is another pickup that I had during the 30% off sale, and these are the demolition screwdrivers. They come with 2 of these screwdrivers with the striking caps, and then 4 more that don't have the striking cap but have kind of that hex shank on there that you can put. Oh no, I'm sorry, these ones don't have the hex shank. These ones have the hex shank that you can put a wrench on as well if you need a little bit of extra kind of leverage. So these I think are great ones to look at. I've been looking at these ones for a long time, and I was finally able to pick them up. Let's kind of go back over here. Up here you're going to see the regular Doyle. These are kind of the Klein style. I think it's a 7-piece set And we have the 6 kind of up here, the larger one here. They're also going to have these little guys, the stubbies. And then they'll also have things like the, you know, ratcheting, reversible shank screwdrivers. So all of these things are going to be 35% off. So now let's kind of switch down and go to the screwdriver drawer and see kind of some other things, especially from Harbor Freight, that are a good pickup. So you got the Icon screwdrivers that are going to be kind of the copy of the Instinct grip from Snap-on. While they're not as, I don't like the grips as much as the Snap-on. As far as professional screwdrivers, I think they're pretty solid. Retail is $50, but if you're getting 35% off, you're getting, what is that, $17.50 if my math is correct. So you're going to pick these up for $32, $32.50. I think that's a pretty good deal for a professional quality screwdriver set. And you got these like little guys as well. I think these usually run for about $15, so that would be something to look at. As on the kind of cheaper side, you have these Pittsburgh bolstered ones that also have the place where you can put the wrench on there. And then you have, actually, my kind of personal favorites are going to be these Quinn. I think the Quinn are an excellent deal. These are about $27, comes with way more pieces than the Icon does, and at 35% off, I think it's going to be a great deal. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I own, but again, they have, I think when I clicked on the pliers and screwdrivers, there was like 180 different items that you can go with. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of different choices. Sorry if that was loud. One other kind of notable mention is going to be this Quinn precision screwdriver set. This one I have a video on, but it's a great little set. Comes with this bag, also comes with a tray, and this one I think retails for about $15. Again, it's going to be 35% off. So now let's kind of go on to the bigger ticket items, and we're going to talk about the right here where it says all U.S. General carts and cabinets. So when I first saw this, when this leaked, I assumed personally that it meant literally the cabinets, meaning just the roller cabinets on the bottom, and then the excuse the backpack here. Let me get it out of the way. And then these 5-drawer and 4-drawer carts, and then maybe that 1-drawer cart that they had on sale. However, when we looked at the preview, one nice thing that we realized is that it's going to include lockers as well, which is pretty awesome, and it's going to also include the top chest. Now, if you look at my setup, if you looked at my kind of toolbox tour, garage tour, you can kind of see kind of what I have. But I have the 56-inch U.S. General. About that around Christmas time last year. Added the 2 side lockers a few months later when they were on sale, and you know, I've been running out of space in the garage for tools, and now I think it's time to move this 3D printer. I have found a place for it elsewhere in the garage, and now I'm going to add that top chest, and the top chest is going to be actually included in the sale as well. So it's normally $5.99. It's going to be 20% off. Brings it down to $4.79. One thing kind of to note is if you happen to have the Harbor Freight credit card, which I do since I shop there so often, you can put it for $4.79. You know, with tax and all that kind of stuff, it's going to bring it over $500. That means it's 0% for 12 months. So it's like, you know, $40 a month, which I think is a pretty awesome deal, especially when you're using kind of their money. Quick note, I wouldn't personally, buy stuff on the credit card and pay interest. I would only use the credit card, obviously, if I can either afford to pay it off or afford to pay off the installments and not pay any interest. So it's a great tool if it's something that you guys need. But things like pretty much this whole setup, I think is a great deal at 20% off. It's rare to get it for anything more than that. Every once in a while, you'll get 25% off of one item. But, especially if you want to do a whole set and get side lockers, you want to get the bottom cabinet, you want to get the top chest as well. I think 20% off is a great time to do it. One nice thing also is that it doesn't have to necessarily be in stock. They can order it for you, and it usually takes about 3 weeks or so for it to get in stock. So that's at least what I plan on doing. One other note is again, the carts are going to be on sale. So you have this 5-drawer, normally $279. 20% off is actually not that great a deal on this. They literally just had it a week ago for like $197. This one, I would say, it's a great cart, don't get me wrong, but I would wait until it's sub 200, and at least a couple times a year it goes down to about $179. That's, I think, when it's the time to pick it up. at 20% off. If you really need it, great, pick it up. But if you're patient, again, you can get it for a little bit cheaper. So let's go back to the flyer here and kind of look at some other things. So one of the things that I mentioned that's a good deal is this 3-ton low-profile jack from Pittsburgh. This is a great pickup if you don't have a jack and kind of need one. The only thing that I would say wait for is they also have the Daytona one that sometimes will drop down to this price. It retails for a little bit more, and it comes in a bunch of different colors. If you don't care about colors, this Pittsburgh one in slate gray I think is a great deal for $99. Works really, really well. Has good reviews, and if you go on YouTube, you'll see kind of torture tests of these things being in shops for years and years before they have to replace them. So let's just kind of go over real quickly a few other things. I thought of picking up a few of these drill bit sets more for work. And they're not the greatest drill bits, but for $12 for a full set, they're pretty much disposable to me. Same thing, pick up some gloves. I think those are going to be a pretty good deal. And then, one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is I actually really, really like these hammers, especially the rip version of this hammer. And whenever it goes on sale, it's usually on sale for $4, all the time, $3.90 something. I'll pick one up or two. These are great. I have them in every go bag. I've given them to every, installer, things like that. I mean, it's a hammer, fiberglass handle, lifetime warranty. You're using it to hit things. I figure, for $3-4, you can't go wrong. And then you see some of those other deals. And then let's go kind of to the back here and see if there's anything else. Nothing I would say too special that's going to be a deal that isn't kind of what their normal deals are. So again, main thing I wanted to talk about today is, like I said, going to be the all the U.S. general storage. So it doesn't matter the size, 27, 42, 56, 72 cabinets, rolling cabinets, lockers, top chests, the side drawers. All of that is going to be included in the sale in every color, and all the carts, the single drawer, the 4-drawer, and the 5-drawer. So personally, that's what I would be looking at to purchase. And of course, like I said, the pliers and screwdrivers. If you've been looking at anything, waiting for it, this is the time to stock up. However, I have a feeling it's going to be a madhouse, especially up around the Icon area. So if you have any questions, if you want me to go into depth into anything else, please shoot me a comment down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.